Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Department of Civil Engineering Annual Awards celebration. My name is Professor Michael Kennedy, and I'll be hosting this afternoon's event. I'd like to commence this celebration event by inviting Professor Elizabeth Croft, our Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, to make an acknowledgement of country and to welcome you to this event. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, Michael. I start by acknowledging this virtual gathering, by acknowledging the people of the Kulin Nations on whose land where I currently stand. And I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land where you are to join us today. I pay my respects to the elders here in where I am and where you are, past, present, and emerging. I'd like to share a picture with you if I can. So I would like to share this picture here of the, there it is. Excellent. This picture is the Great Shark constellation created by artist Brian Robinson. It is titled Badam Tehuyil. This constellation is commonly known as the Pleiades or the Seven Sisters. When I lived in Canada, we could see this constellation from Vancouver sometimes, even if it stopped raining. But you might wonder what this has to do with civil engineering. And I have to confess that I'm indulging in a common stereotype. What do people think of when they picture a civil engineer? Someone with a hard hat? Someone working on or building a road? Well, Australia's highway network follows the ancient Aboriginal star maps like this one. To our great shame, an unforgivable amount of Indigenous engineering has been overlooked, denied, or forgotten. And so the discovery that our modern highways reflect ancient Indigenous knowledge is something to be celebrated. A star map is not a Melways or a street map, but rather more interactive, like your GPS, a memory aid of the waypoints to get you from A to B. Indigenous knowledges and culture is as much part of the future of engineering as it has been in the past. Some of our academics already help and build and expand this knowledge. Thank you, Chris Rudiger, Pippa Connolly, and Robert Moeller, amongst others. Agriculture, waterways, weirs and wells, environmental management, highways, housing, memory systems. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders have always been engineers, and Monash engineering is committed to Indigenous advancement. Engineering is a human endeavor, and no discipline evidences that more clearly than civil engineering. It is, by definition, the engineering of citizens and their concerns. It is the engineering that brings us together, that manages our resources, that keeps us supplied with what we need: clean air, clean water, parcels delivered on time. Above us, below us, around us, we rely on civil engineers to get it right so that we can be a community and live close enough to collaborate, to share knowledge, and to succeed. And of course, no man is an island, none the least because if he were, a civil engineer would have built a bridge to him. And so civil engineering is collaborative, engaging with the best of all other disciplines to create the solutions for the concerns of our citizens. Within this department, we have a whole host of people with different backgrounds, all contributing to our research and our education excellence. That diversity is our strength, entirely fitting for a department led by a civil engineer who is an electrical engineering fellow. The strength that has been on display this year, as we have responded to the challenges of COVID-19, the pivot to online teaching, the learning, the assessment, the changes to our research environment, and of course, the research itself that come from the COVID-19 challenge has just been outstanding in civil engineering. I'm sure everyone has heard about Professor Graham Curry's activity in the Melbourne experiment, which examines key activities and elements of the urban environment before, during, and after the COVID-19 shutdowns. that will be after, right, Graham? It will end, right? But you may not have heard of Associate Professor David McCarthy's foray into poopy water, crucial to understanding COVID-19 in our community and a lot more pleasant from where I sit than a swab up the nose. David has worked with utility and government partners to optimize the methods used to detect COVID-19 RNA in wastewater and is now working on optimizing sampling and analysis methods. Thank you, David, because we want out. There's more, much more to celebrate from this faculty tonight. But before I hand over back to Michael and start the award ceremony proper, I want to mention our cooperative education program. This program comprises of 3, 6, or 12-month paid engineering internships and can commence throughout the year. 100% of employers who have hired a co-op student would rehire them, 100%. This flexible program matches students to employers for meaningful, immersive engineering experience. Our students are always ready to go from their homes, from your site, interstate, once the borders open again, across the world. Get in touch with us to find out more. Collaboration between industry, education, and government is crucial for us to deliver on the concerns that matter to our citizens and in our community. Although this year has been challenging and still is challenging, I am confident that this department, these students, these staff, these researchers, and our partners have what it takes to deliver. Thank you very much.
This, of course, is the sort of reception that our Dean receives every time she speaks. I'd now like to hand over to our venerable head of department, Professor Jeff Walker, who would like to welcome you this afternoon.
Thank you, Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, alumni, award recipients, award sponsors, industry representatives, teaching fellows, and distinguished guests. Welcome to our 2020 Department Awards event. Tonight's ceremony is taking a different format to the one that we are used to, given current restrictions on gatherings, but it is no less significant, providing a platform to honour the achievements of our students, staff, and alumni, and to show our appreciation of the contributions made by industry to our programs. It also allows us to publicly acknowledge the support of our industry award sponsors and to hear from one of our highly esteemed alumni. One of the advantages of tonight being an online event is that we are no longer constrained by the venue capacity, allowing many more staff, students, alumni, industry, family, and friends to join in this special celebration. Normally, we are restricted to inviting only our 10 and 25-year alumni as our special guests, but this year we have been able to invite all of our alumni. While it is unfortunate that we cannot bring you, our alumni, back onto the campus at the present moment, we do hope that this little portal into the achievements of our students and staff inspires you to make a visit to see how much your alma mater has changed, or to reach out in some way to the department, its staff, or its students. There are so many ways in which you can make a difference. This evening is intended to give our undergraduate and postgraduate awardees and the award sponsors the public recognition that they each deserve. These and other departmental awards, which recognise staff and student excellence across a range of activities, will be presented shortly, and I look forward to being a part of that honour. Later tonight, we will also present our Distinguished Alumnus of the Year Award. The recipient of this special honour will provide our mid-evening address, the winner of which I will announce in due course. The 12 months since our last awards night have passed quickly, and there have been many significant achievements to report from within the department. For example, Professor Mark Palange, Monash University Provost and Professor of Civil Engineering, was made Fellow of the American Meteorological Society and awarded their prestigious Hydrological Sciences Medal for his work on boundary layer turbulence. Professor Ranjiv has been acknowledged by the Australian Research magazine as being not only the top researcher in Australia in the field of minerals and mining, but indeed the top researcher in the world in this area. Monash was also recognised as being the top university in Australia in this area of research. And Professor Ranjiv has been selected as one of the finalists for an R&D 100 award. Professor Graham Curry was awarded the Engineers Australia Transport Medal by the Transport Australia Society. This is not an annual award and has not been awarded since 2014. Well done, Graham. Professor Matthew Aitchison led a successful CRC bid on Construction 4.0, valued at $349 million. More than $650,000 of research funding has been awarded by the ACARP, and $3 million of research funding awarded by the ARC for a range of projects, including an $870,000 ARC linkage grant by Dr. Anna Lintern, Associate Professor David McCarthy, and Dr. Rebecca Henry. This is in addition to our 2 ongoing ARC industry transformation hubs and a range of other industry projects. Postdoctoral researcher Dr. Faisal has been awarded the 2020 R.M. Quigley Award by the Canadian Geotechnical Society for Best Paper based on his recent PhD work at Monash. And the list goes on. Although this year has not gone quite according to plan, due to a small hiccup called a global pandemic, we have achieved many significant milestones, including flipping all of our classes almost overnight so that lectures are recorded and watched online prior to virtually attending active learning sessions. We had already flipped a handful of our units, and we're planning to do this across many others. So this has just greatly sped up the journey that we were already on. Moving all of our final assessments to online. Gone now are the days of sitting in cold gyms in the middle of winter in endless rows of tightly packed desks. Now, there are various options ranging from remotely proctored exams through to 24-hour take-home exams. Team Civil participating for its 2nd time in the Solar Decathlon, despite the COVID travel restrictions. I have more to say about this later. Finally, the newly formed multidisciplinary connected autonomous vehicles team, led out of civil engineering, has also been busy prior to the lockdown, working with the university's first autonomous vehicle to help prepare Australia for when this technology hits our streets. They have also successfully developed from scratch a basic autonomous capable vehicle by retrofitting a conventional vehicle with a drive-by-wire system, sensors, and artificial intelligence algorithms. During the lockdown, they have turned their efforts to focusing on building a simulation environment for testing new advances in this technology. Other significant advances include investment in our physical infrastructure. For example, the faculty's new Woodside Technology, Education and Design building was completed in March this year, right when we were expecting students to come back to campus. So, unfortunately, our students have not yet had the opportunity to take advantage of this fantastic learning space. Not only is this a state-of-the-art teaching building, but it is also one of the world's smartest buildings, fitted out with more than $1 million worth of sensing equipment to monitor everything from geothermal energy to floor vibrations and acoustic levels. Students are able to use this data for a range of modelling and design problems. The faculty's new makerspace was also completed earlier this year, providing a wonderful workspace for our student teams and a launchpad for our entrepreneurial staff and student activities. However, it too has been waiting for this pesky virus to leave us alone. Lastly, the faculty is currently developing a state-of-the-art robotics centre that will allow us to expand our new robotic construction facility that was launched last year. Whilst we are pleased with these outcomes and achievements, we are always looking to position ourselves more strongly and to be the best civil engineering department in the Asia Pacific region. Importantly, we have now risen to number 21 in the world in the area of civil and structural engineering, and number 7 in the world in the area of mining and minerals, according to the recent QS World Rankings. On the education front, there has been significant progress on the new initiatives that were announced in recent years. For example, our jointly badged master's programs with Southeast University in China and our civil engineering offering at the Sunway campus in Malaysia are now highly esteemed in their respective campuses. Our 2+2 program with Central South University continues to fill its annual quota of 90 students, with around half of these transitioning to the Clayton campus. We continue to have strong domestic demand for our undergraduate programs, with civil engineering having around 280 students entering to year 2. And our postgraduate research student numbers have continued to remain strong at around 180, just to name a few. An important new initiative for the department is the introduction of minors in environmental engineering, mining engineering, renewable energy engineering, and civil engineering for our civil and environmental engineering specializations. These minors can be taken in lieu of the 3rd and 4th year electives and will be noted on the academic transcript. Accordingly, from next year, engineering students will now have the opportunity to do a double degree in 5 to 6 years, or a single degree with a minor and a master's in 5 years. Moreover, doing a joint undergraduate and master's degree as a vertical double allows 2 units to be shaved off the normal length of doing these separately. We also launched a professional master's at the beginning of this year, which allows engineering students from non-Washington Accord programs to be recognised for the Stage 1 competencies of Engineers Australia. More details on these minors and master programs can be found on the department's website. I would be remiss to not mention in more detail our newly launched solar decathlon team, which participates in a sequence of 10 contests that result in a design and build of the most highly efficient and innovative building powered by renewable energy. Through this team, we aim to compete against the best, such as Stanford, Berkeley, and MIT, and win, showing that our students are just as capable, if not more so, than those in the Northern Hemisphere. Indeed, this year, among a total of 45 teams, Monash won first place in the suburban single-family home division amid steep competition in only its 2nd year of joining the Solar Decathlon. We therefore invite our industry partners and alumni with us tonight to consider joining the Faculty of Engineering in sponsoring this student team, or in sponsoring one of the many other opportunities available, such as this awards night, or another student prize or scholarship. If you are interested in joining this or the autonomous vehicle team as a student, or in mentoring one of these teams as an industry partner, please reach out to either myself, Dr. Brandon Winfrey, or Professor Haivu. So, on behalf of the staff in the Department of Civil Engineering here at Monash, I again welcome you to tonight's celebration and trust that you enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Oops. It says unable to start video. Thank you. How appropriate that we had a glitch. We're just going to talk about that. I want to just briefly show you a quick video, very short video, and I will explain the relevance of that video to this evening.
Good old man. Oh, I can imagine. Here we go. Roger. Keep recording. 30 seconds. Cameras are both running. Okay, CO, box power on. Roger, box power on now. AMR, turn on high speed down, rising water, T-minus 50 seconds. Missile power, go. RF systems, go. Pressure, go. AMR, filter. Telemetry quality, go. Perfect gas, go.
Okay, what has that got to do with what we're doing tonight? Well, the parallel is this, that just as they used all sorts of amazing technology to boost that rocket into space, we're doing something similar to that this evening in what we're putting together. We're actually using a number of different online technologies, which we're combining together. And as with that little glitch a moment ago, not everything will go quite perfectly. In our case, nobody will die if we get it a little bit wrong, but hopefully everything will come together and the evening will look nearly as smooth as the rocket launch. It's time now for us to begin the awards. Our first group of awards this evening is the Civil Engineering Department Awards, which are awards made to members of Team Civil. Our Team Civil culture, which Jeff referred to, sets out our values and the behaviours that we strive to deliver based on those values. Our Team Civil culture, which is articulated in detail, was developed by all of us. It says that we are a team of teams with shared commitment to shared objectives. Now, that shared commitment is right across Team Civil, academic, professional, technical. And the challenge has obviously, as Elizabeth and Jeff alluded to, been somewhat more challenging than usual in 2020. So the idea of going the extra mile has turned into going quite a lot of extra miles as we address the challenges that the year has thrown at us. The first Team Civil award for a department member is the 2020 Professional Staff Member Award. Now, obviously, our teaching and research goals cannot be achieved without the dedicated work of our professional staff. They know things that we don't know, they understand things that we don't understand, and they do things that we can't do. So given the capability and commitment that they show, winning this award in particular in this year, in 2020, reflects an extraordinarily high level of capability and a very high level of commitment. Now, in terms of tonight's winner, a few weeks back, I sent tonight's winner an email before knowing about the win. This person has worked with me on a range of projects, engaging with industry, engaging with alumni, organising events, developing strategic responses. And the email that I wrote in appreciation said the following: over my 30 years as a chief executive, I've worked with many people in roles just like yours. None were better than you. And I don't say those words easily. Now, I'm sure that Jeff Walker would entirely agree. In fact, I know that he does. The 2020 Professional Staff Member Award goes to Joanne Hathaway.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, thank you, Michael, for those really, really kind words. I really appreciate it. And I just want to thank Jeff and Rachel and everyone in the department. It's fantastic to work with such a professional team, and I'm so pleased to receive this award. It really, really does mean a lot to me, and it's definitely a highlight in my career. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Joanne. The next award, the next department award is the 2020 Team Player Award. And as I said just a couple of moments ago, shared commitment to shared goals and going many extra miles has been very much what 2020 has been all about. When COVID hit, suddenly we had challenges that we had no expectation that we were going to face, which Jeff referred to. So we had subjects that were designed to be taught face-to-face, suddenly needing to be reinvented to be taught online, needing to be assessed online, needing to have exams online, and importantly, providing an online student engagement and online support in a way that none of us had anticipated. As we wrestled with that in those early months, looking to optimise the student experience, to maintain the quality of teaching, guidance, support and wise counsel were very much needed as we worked our way through it. The Team Player Award winner was actually on long service at that critical time. And I say was because as soon as COVID hit, he came back to work. He threw himself into the many tasks, all needing urgent attention and action, all taking about 23 hours a day to address, going all of those extra miles that I referred to. The winner of the 2020 Team Player Award is Professor Jeff Rose. As Jeff hopefully his smiling face appears, there it is. Hi, Jeff. I just want to tell you about a little irony that lingers in the background, and Jeff is looking down and sort of got a smirk on his face. One of the many responsibilities that Jeff has as the director of the Institute of Transport Studies is for active travel, which includes cycling, and cycling includes cycling safety. So after Jeff came back from long service leave and did all of that amazing work, what did he do? He crashed his bike just a few days back, badly enough to have basically made a big mess of his shoulder and of his upper arm. And he joins us this afternoon, having returned from a physio appointment. The other irony I should mention on the end is that the OH&S award is coming up shortly, and I'm not sure what the winner would have to say about Jeff. Jeff, over to you.
Thank you, Michael. It's a great privilege to be here today, and I would like to thank the benefits of painkillers for being able to keep other expressions off my face. Look, I will be honest, coming back from long service leave proved to be an extraordinarily rewarding personal experience. I was humbled to see how hard all of the team were working, professional and academic staff, and also the way that people took on board suggestions and ideas to try and make sure that the team was able to deliver the best possible outcomes for our students. I can be honest in saying that I'm humbled to have received this award. It's a great privilege for me to not only be a member of this team, but when I see the need to stand up for the team. And I can assure you that once I'm able and back from long service leave, I look forward to doing more of all of that. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Our next award is the 2020 Award for Excellence in Teaching. In 2020, achieving excellence in teaching, of course, as I just touched upon, had many additional challenges. So again, the importance of excellence in teaching went to a new level. The winner of this award is Dr. Asad Al-Haq, who used a project-based learning approach in the long-running Foundation Engineering Unit. His micro to macro learning philosophy integrates small and easy design concepts in lectures, followed by concept coupling in student-centered practice sessions. His approach in the practice classes has resulted in excellent student evaluations, and other units can potentially incorporate this method. Congratulations to Dr. Asad Al-Haq.
Thank you, Michael. And good afternoon and hello to all who are watching online. I would like to thank Jeff and the Education Committee, my students for their appreciation and feedback, my industry partner Keller Foundations for sponsoring a real design project, and their teaching help, which I acknowledge Mr. Slav Chipak, the Technical Director of Keller Foundation, and Dr. Eric Chong. My wonderful Monash teaching team, I also like to acknowledge Udaya and Eddie Smith for their support all the way, and my fantastic geomechanics group who supports me all the way. All my colleagues, those who are working background today to organize this event, I also like to extend my thanks to them. This is basically a very hard time. My family members for their support and the sacrifice also I like to acknowledge. And thank you all. Enjoy the afternoon.
Thank you very much, Asadol. The next award is the 2020 Award for Best Teaching Assistant. In a world-class university that is among the best in the world in engineering, as you just heard from Jeff and Elizabeth, we obviously strive to provide an excellent student experience and indeed to educate world-class engineers. Our ranking says that we do, as do our graduates. The role of teaching assistants is critical in achieving those outcomes. They need a solid understanding of unit structure, a sound knowledge base, assisting students in lectures, in pracs, and in Q&As. Now, let me just quote something about our winner. Maya managed the Q&A sessions very well through the combination of online Zooming and the walk-ins when applicable. I have never encountered any other TA, demonstrator or tutor in civil engineering that can have design standards in his or her mind so soundly and present them as they were needed. Congratulations to Maya, the winner of the award, Maya Mellum. Well done.
Thank you very much, Michael. Wasn't aware of that quote, actually. Yeah, I'm very happy to be awarded this award. I'd like to thank definitely Colin, who's been supervising me as supervisor, Lizzie as well, early on in my, I guess, career as a teaching assistant. And of course, most importantly, to the students that I guess had the pleasure of having me as a teaching assistant for now almost 5 years. Definitely passionate in teaching I had there, so definitely enjoyed in teaching the students and look forward to doing it in many years more to come. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, well done. I alluded a few moments ago to the 2020 Occupational Health and Safety Award, which is obviously very important in the sort of environment in which we work. The winner this year of the Occupational Health and Safety Award is Shewa Ella Zhang. Ella is a research fellow focusing on the structural health monitoring of full-scale structures. She has been involved in multiple large-scale projects in the field, working alongside construction contractors and clients. Ella has led teams of Monash employees on multiple bridge sites across Victoria, no doubt with Colin Caprani. She's prepared the risk assessments for these sites and managed safety throughout the works. The range of sites included traffic management and lane closures in urban areas, vandalism-prone suburban sites, remote rural sites, underbridge access gantry units, and fabrication yards. Across the multiple projects that Ella has been involved in since 2018, many thousands of person hours, it is startling to acknowledge Ella's contribution to her contribution to OH&S, that in that time there has not been one single incident. Congratulations, Ella, well done. Unmute.
Thanks, Mike. I'm so pleased to receive this award. I would like to thank everyone in my group and who used to work with us for fully trusting me as a safety manager when we were on site across Victoria. And thanks to everyone in the lab to support and help me to become so much familiar with the risk assessment system and many, many Monash safety regulations. And finally, as a person to receive this award in such a special year, I wish everyone stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ella. Next. Okay, the next award is the Industry Advisory Committee Member of the Year. And I would like to acknowledge, again, as I did at the start, all of the members of the Civil Engineering Industry Advisory Committee, particularly welcome those who are with us today, and to acknowledge the important contribution that they make in our engagement with industry, helping us to ensure that education and research programs reflect industry needs, which of course is of heightened importance in these challenging times of 2020 and beyond. Last week, we had a special meeting of the Civil Engineering Industry Advisory Committee at which we showcased some of the high impact research that is being undertaken by the department, some of which Jeff and Elizabeth referred to earlier. IAC members make many contributions to Monash, not only in attending and making their contribution in meetings, in strengthening our linkages with industry, and in contributing to specific projects and initiatives. This year's IAC Member of the Year has contributed actively in all of those ways. When we conceived the need for a professional practice subject, we were keen to engage with Industry Advisory Committee members in determining what the topic priorities and content should be with industry, because there was a lot to try to squeeze in, We wanted to reflect industry needs and expectations. We thank all of the IAC members who contributed. Some also were guest presenters. Tonight's award winner not only contributed herself, she actually organised industry meetings involving not only people from her own organisation, Oricon, but other colleagues, and we worked through some very big and complex issues, which then were reflected in the subject which was taught in semester 1 this year. Our 2020 Industry Advisory Committee Member of the Year is Sam Link from Oricon, who joins us from maternity leave. Very important role for Sam to be playing at the moment. Sam, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you, Jeff, and the department for the opportunity to be involved in the Industry Advisory Committee. Other than when I'm on maternity leave, it is an absolute pleasure and very inspiring to play a small part in the really important connection, as you've said, between Monash and industry. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam. Our next award is, or acknowledgement, is our Sessional Teaching Fellows. We acknowledge and express our appreciation to our Sessional Teaching Fellows who come from both within and outside of the university. They make a significant and valuable contribution to the quality of our teaching, to the quality of our students' learning experience, drawing on their own academic knowledge and capability, and for those from industry, bringing together also their real-world industry experience. As a world-class university, ranked very highly in engineering, as you heard earlier, everything we do must be world-class. So to our Sessional Teaching Fellows, we say, you have done a world-class job. Congratulations, one and all. Now, I think we have a number of those with us this evening. There's one. There's another. See if we've got some more joining us. Yes.
Thank you very much. This is a very touching award, and thank you very much to the department.
Does anyone else want to make a comment? Please feel free if you'd like to say something.
Yes, I would also like to thank the opportunity that I have from the Civil Engineering Department for providing me so that I could teach, and also Professor Wenhui Duan, the Director of Nanocom Hub, for his mentorship, and also last but not least, my wife for all her love and continued unconditional support. Thank you.
And we obviously have another up-and-coming engineer there with you this afternoon.
Thank you, Mike, for this. And it's Naushad Haq from CSIRO. I'm doing this for the last 6 years, and I'm enjoying this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Angela. Thank you all very much. We greatly appreciate and value your work. I would now like to invite Professor Jeff Walker, Head of Department, back to present the 2020 Alumnus of the Year.
Thanks, Michael. The recipient of the 2020 Monash Department of Civil Engineering Alumnus of the Year Award is Professor Rebecca Brown. Rebecca graduated from Monash with a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil and Computing in 1994 as top of her class. During her studies, she was a cadet engineer with the Melbourne Water Corporation, and upon graduation moved to the London office of OVARP. This solid grounding in industry set her up well for her future career in academia. Between the years 2000 and 2003, she studied a PhD in environmental studies at the University of New South Wales in order to understand the social, political, and market dimensions of advancing more sustainable infrastructure in society. Following this, she held a position as lecturer in environmental studies at the same university. She returned to Monash in 2005 as a senior lecturer in the School of Geography and Environmental Science. Over the subsequent 15 years, she has showed great leadership in the university's education program, including the development of a master's degree in corporate sustainability and environmental management. Moreover, As the Monash Faculty of Arts Postgraduate Coursework Coordinator, she successfully restructured and consolidated all postgraduate coursework programs across the faculty. In 2015, she co-led the design and delivery of the Monash Water Sensitive Cities MOOC and oversaw creation of the Leadership for Sustainable Development stream in a cross-faculty Masters for Environment and Sustainability. Initially, Rebecca's research focused on the introduction of a socio-technical dimension to what had been almost exclusively an engineering focus on urban water, and pioneered a citywide urban water benchmarking model that has become highly influential in the development of urban water policy globally. In 2009, she introduced the scholarly concept of the water sensitive city, which is now part of the international scholarly vernacular and an organising framework for numerous scientific programs and government and organisational policies worldwide. Throughout her academic career, Rebecca has pursued excellence in research through leading large interdisciplinary programs. She has been successful with the translation of her research to policy and practice, with many of her recommendations employed worldwide by organisations such as the Asian Development Bank, UN Habitat, and EU programs, including extensively in Australian environmental policies. During her career, she has held positions as Professor, School of Geography and Environmental Science, President, Monash Children's Centre, Professor of Environmental Sociology, School of Social Sciences, Chief Research Officer, Cooperative Research Centre for Water Sensitive Cities, Member, Monash University Council, Director, Monash Sustainable Development Institute, and Board Member, Environment Protection Authority, Victoria. Rebecca is presently the Senior Vice Provost and Vice Provost Research at Monash University, responsible for leading the university's research agenda, practice, integrity, and compliance, contributing to research strategy and enhancing the university's research performance and vision. She is also Director of RISE, which stands for Revitalising Informal Settlements and Their Environments, an action research program working in the Pacific with communities, governments, partners, and philanthropists to deliver solutions that benefit health, environment, water, and sanitation. RISE is part of the prestigious Wellcome Trust Our Planet, Our Health funding program, with support from the Asian Development Bank's Future Cities program, as well as Australian Aid and the New Zealand Foreign Affairs and Trade. Rebecca has made a significant contribution to civil engineering over her career, and so I would now like to invite Professor Brown to receive this award and to give an address. Thank you. You're on mute, Rebecca.
Thank you, Jeff. This is a very humbling moment, and it sounded like a very long, exhaustive list that you were reading out there, but it really has been a very enjoyable and thrilling career path for me in my civil engineering capacity. But just before I give my address, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the Boorong people. They're the people of the land that I'm talking to you from this evening, from today, and I certainly pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and for any traditional lands that other people are on right now listening to me. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone, certainly yourself, Professor Jeff Walker, everyone in the civil engineering department and the engineering faculty more broadly. I'd like to thank Dean, Professor Elizabeth Croft. I'd like to also acknowledge all the students that are here and the wonderful awards that are coming and ones that have been awarded so far. I'd like to make a special mention to the alumni that are virtually with us this evening, and in particular, family and friends that are here of different awardees. It's truly an honour to be here and to receive the Civil Engineering Alumni of the Year Award. I'm very proud of my role here at Monash and my background as a civil engineer, someone that's worked in government, in the private sector. I've run my own business. I'm also a trained social scientist. And all of that has played a really important journey in my role as a university executive. I think I'd make the observation that civil engineering is a great basis for a really fulfilling career. And it doesn't have to just be in a traditional civil engineering role, which of course would be very fulfilling and, you know, research capacity. But I see and come across engineers that are heads of banks and civil society groups and not-for-profits and chief advisors and chief of staffs of politicians. And I just think it's incredible how the civil engineering training and way of thinking and experience we can actually see has led to many different pathways for people. So it's a really important baseline, and it's certainly been really valuable, of course, for my career. I've been really privileged in my civil engineering career. I started my career working at Melbourne Water Corporation, and then I won a international scholarship, and I was one of 5 scholars based in a London office of a big multinational firm called O'Varrop and Partners. I worked on some amazing projects. I was a design engineer on the Channel Tunnel Rail Link in the UK in the mid-90s. I was involved in redesigning the Potsdamer Platz just outside of Berlin and building one of the first major modern wastewater schemes in Bangkok, amongst other projects. And during that time, I knew I could design infrastructure that was more sensitive to the environment, particularly to the water environment. And I was very passionate about reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And I wanted to understand how you could mainstream more sustainable engineering solutions more broadly, and how you could do it in a way that could create more inclusive environments for communities and address fundamental inequalities. So I decided to go and do a PhD in the social sciences, and I really wanted to understand how power and institutions work and how they worked around the role of civil infrastructure. And I did my PhD at University of New South Wales. And then, as Jeff said, I found myself at Monash sort of later mid-career, and I went on and led a number of major multi-faculty research programs across HASS disciplines and STEM disciplines across the full continuum. And most recently, the research project I led called RISE, which actually involves a key alumni from civil engineering, Professor Tony Wong, and a key academic leader, Associate Professor David McCarthy. So I'm very much connected with the Department of Civil Engineering. We have a $56 million funded RISE program funded by the Wellcome Trust, by the Asian Development Bank, the New Zealand government, the Australian government, amongst others. And we're interested in how to deliver more sustainable, more radical water infrastructure to some of the world's most vulnerable people, called the urban poor. There's 1 billion people on the planet today that live in urban poverty and live in very poor circumstances. And if we think about the impact of COVID and the pandemic today, these people can't even turn on a tap to wash their hands. And so we're looking at providing sustainable water infrastructure. We're revitalising 24 urban slums, 12 in Indonesia, 12 in the Pacific. And with that, 1 billion today, 3 billion by 2050 will be living in these conditions. So the role for the civil engineer and the civil engineering solution in addressing some of the world's most pressing challenges is never more prominent than now. It was a very proud moment for us at Monash earlier this year in February, when we could all still travel, when the New Zealand Prime Minister, Jacinta Ardern, opened up our civil engineering demonstration site in Suva, Fiji, to celebrate their $2 million investment in our research program. But perhaps more importantly is I'd like to take the opportunity just to share a little bit more of my reflections. I've been in the sector for 27 years, and I'd like to share what I've seen as some of the changes. And I would say that when I first started as a civil engineer, I was trained in technical optimisation, limit state design, and designing infrastructure really from quite a narrow fiscal perspective and reasonably short timeframes, certainly within a generation. And it was really the knowledge base or the perspective I was largely trained in was the industrial paradigm, which sort of slightly moved into a post-industrial view, but certainly about creating things as efficient, technically optimised, as efficient as possible, without a lot of regard to the environment and to society that I was serving, or the infrastructure was serving. Certainly now that's very, very different in the profession. Now infrastructure has to be accountable for a wide range of needs. Certainly as civil engineers, we have to ask the question, what's the purpose of the infrastructure? Who does it need to protect? Who should it serve? And what is the overall intergenerational impact? And really accounting for those. And it requires us to be thinking in new ways. And I've seen that shift over the last 27 years. And what I'm seeing now as the next pioneering front is working in transdisciplinary approaches. So working with other professions, other disciplines, and bringing that knowledge and perspective to the table to inform civil engineering design, and doing it in ways that are highly cooperative across sectors, government, industry, community, civil society, and others. And I think the benefit of this way of thinking and this way of working in the profession is that ideas are challenged, design concepts are challenged, and they're challenged from multiple perspectives, which means we come up with better outcomes. And better outcomes for many people from different perspectives. The stakeholders like government, industry, and community are all invested in outcomes, and not always the same outcomes at the same time. So overall, our goal in civil engineering is really to create long-term solutions that are flexible but resilient and are embedded in the communities that they serve. Not least is, the enormous challenge that climate change presents to the whole production of civil engineering. That demands us to think differently. We have to see infrastructure and design from the perspective of being environmentally restorative, and that is the fundamental act, and playing a key role in reducing social inequalities. I know when I was originally trained in civil engineering, we had a course on project management, but we never talked about the fundamental inequalities in society and the role that technology and infrastructure can play in mediating those. And that's what I think is so exciting about our engineers today and our engineers tomorrow. I think it would be remiss for me to also not comment on my observations of the changes I see in diversity and inclusion in civil engineering. So this is another observation. I've seen that shift over the last 27 years. It's not just important from a workforce perspective, which of course is essential, but it's a way we approach research, design, and construction. If we take, for example, Indigenous perspectives, we as engineers have been trained in industrial design. The post-industrial paradigm has been our sort of fundamental sort of epistemological orientation to problems and solutions. I think the next horizon for our profession, our sector, our discipline is to look at the value of multiple knowledge perspectives and to be able to hold multiple perspectives at any one time and look at what we design, what we solve, what we pursue. So if we look at sort of First Nations perspectives, their deep knowledge about the land, they come from the perspective that us as humans are stewards of the environment, and we're stewards for multiple generations that account for resource flows, flora, fauna, longevity, different timeframes, different cadence of a knowledge perspective. And I think that this is the next horizon for us in fundamentally transforming the practice, the ongoing mainstreaming practice of sustainable infrastructure design. Gender diversity is really important. And, as one of the only women to graduate from civil engineering the year I did at Monash, and in fact, I think I was only one of maybe 5 in Australia graduating that year in civil engineering. Many things have changed since then. There's still much more change that needs to happen. We're still not got pay gap parity, representation parity, and certainly there's not enough women in senior roles in civil engineering. And, all the data shows that, but it is better than when I started. I'd really like to acknowledge here this evening our Dean, Professor Elizabeth Croft. Not only is she the first female Dean in the Faculty of Engineering, but she's spearheading a really progressive approach to recruiting female talent, having a more diverse workforce, and really playing that critical role in making sure that the graduates and our professional workforce in engineering is more diverse and more representative of society. So we have better designs, we have better solutions that serve us into the future. So I really want to acknowledge her important groundbreaking work here at Monash on that front, but of course there's more to be done. We know that the issues of getting women to study engineering has improved, but it's not good enough. And we know that we don't have enough women progressing through the profession into senior ranks. And we're addressing that at Monash in novel and different ways. Our very own laureate fellow, Professor Marilyn Fleer, based in the Faculty of Education, she's leading a global piece of research looking at why and the reasons girls aren't entering into STEM educations or long-term careers. They're being educated in STEM and not choosing careers. And she's got all the evidence that shows us that as toddlers and preschoolers, our young people are very influenced by the archetypes that they see. And this affects their choices at a really deep, subliminal, psychological level. So, you know, why is our builder Bob? Why is our tank engine Thomas? These have deep influences from a very young age. So there's a lot that all of us can do as just citizens in making sure there's the maximum opportunity for all our children, all young people to be able to imagine a range of roles for themselves and not be limited by cultural archetypes. So for me, this has been fascinating to understand how archetypes and representations matter so much in this area. And I can say from my own experience, it really is a lot harder to dig deep and find confidence and the aspiration to pursue goals without role models that you can't necessarily identify with. It just requires more. And the fact that this is being spearheaded at Monash, being spearheaded in engineering, and we've got research around it, we've got excellent leadership. I'm really excited about the future for the profession. Bringing diverse voices into a room leads to more enduring outcomes for planet and for people. So just I'd like to finally talk about COVID. We're witnessing one of the greatest rapid social and economic disruptions of this last century. Governments are transforming the way they provide services. And we know it's a big construction game that's going to be happening, infrastructure construction, over, you know, the next decade around the world, and not least in our own nation in Australia. We're seeing abrupt workforce changes. Businesses are closing or pivoting. We've got social distancing, of course, new rules around behaviour, all sorts of new phenomena. There's so many critical questions we need to ask that require deep evidence-based thinking. When I worked as a civil engineer, when I was in the private sector, I was acutely aware that the way we design and develop our civil works sets up economic, social and environmental relations for generations, often hundreds of years. The questions that I think that we should all be holding dear right now is, do we want to rebuild our economy and our society as it was? Or do we want to understand what it was deeply and then ask ourselves, what do we want? How are we going to serve people and planet better when we have this opportunity to do so? An opportunity to build a more sustainable, more inclusive and more prosperous world for us all. I think it's our responsibility as civil engineers to see ourselves as stewards and to be always asking ourselves about, are we making a positive and meaningful impact? Are we bringing the skills and capabilities that we've had the privilege of being educated with and training with? Are we bringing that to really the world's biggest challenges today? We all have a role to play in that. We must develop solutions that foster better outcomes for our generations and next generations. Just in closing, I just want to say thank you for this incredible award. It was really an incredible surprise. It's an honour to be able to speak with you all, colleagues and friends. I'm humbled. I'm honoured to be the recipient of the Civil Engineering Alumni of the Year for 2020. thank you to you all. And I really am very excited about the future, and I'm look forward to seeing what it will be and how it will unfold. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jeff.
I have a suspicion that if the applause was real world rather than recorded, it would go a lot longer than in fact the little recording did. That was a truly amazing presentation, speech from so many different perspectives. We just want to now show you a very short student video. Jeff Walker referred earlier to our amazing teams that are competing on the world stage, and we have a truly incredible multidisciplinary team in the autonomous vehicle space. And so we'll just show that to you now before we move on into the undergraduate awards.
My name is Aryan. I study mechatronics engineering, and I'm the CEO of Monash Connected Autonomous Vehicle. The team started towards the end of 2018. We basically had to start from scratch. We managed to recruit about 40 people to work on this project, some talented people, motivated people, enthusiastic people.
I'm Fabod. I'm currently the Chief Engineer of Monash Connected Autonomous Vehicle. I'm studying mechatronics engineering and science. The team's goal is to create autonomous vehicles and in the long run to have a fleet of connected autonomous vehicles. And the long-term vision is to create this research platform for us to be able to see how connected autonomous vehicles will affect the future, affect traffic, and will affect safety as well.
My name's Ainsley Kennedy and I'm studying civil engineering. But this year our goal was to have the car autonomously park, and so that involved the car first of all identifying the stop sign, then stopping when there was an obstruction in the way, and then parking into a selected car spot that we'd chosen for it. Next year though, our goal is going to be to set up a mock intersection and have the Subaru that we've been working on in 2019 work with the street drone, which is an electric car that we have from the university. And we're going to have them both approach the intersection at the same time and manoeuvre their way through safely. Next year I'm going to be the COO, so Head of Operations of the team. We have mainly engineering students, a couple of computer science, and a couple of science students as well that major in data science or mathematics. In joining the team, you'll learn a lot of software-based skills. So we use a number of programming languages that are taught within the university course, but a number that also aren't. So it's learning new programming languages that will set you up for industry, but also practicing the ones that you've previously learned. We're also moving into simulations a lot next year as well, which is something that will be very useful for future endeavours for students.
As a mechatronics engineer, I do get experience working on robots, but the type of problems that I work on are very small scale and very constrained, whereas the type of skills that you can gain from, say, MCAV and other student teams at Monash is a much larger, complex problem, and you need to apply your skills that you've learned from uni and learn a lot more to achieve a common goal within a team.
Unable to start video. I don't know why that is. Oh, I did that. Okay. Sorry, that was one of those little tiny glitches. Okay, so that was obviously a great illustration of what Jeff talked about with our amazing teams. We're now going to move into the undergraduate awards. We would like to begin by acknowledging all of the sponsors. The sponsors are obviously critical. We value our relationship with our sponsor organisations as hopefully they value their association with Monash. So they make a financial contribution, but importantly, there's a relationship between ourselves and our sponsors, which is very highly valued. There are quite a number of undergraduate awards. We will move through these reasonably quickly. You can read the information that's on the slide. I don't propose to read all of it to you. And then the students that have been able to join with us tonight will have the opportunity to say a few words. So with that, we will move on to the undergraduate awards, beginning, as you can see, with the level 1 prizes. So as you can see, the first one is the first single degree student. I won't read all of that. And the winner is William Doe, who unfortunately can't be with us this afternoon. So we extend our congratulations to him on winning that award. The next award has been won by Daniel Vanderleest, top double degree first year student, and hopefully he is with us this afternoon. And we're scanning in the background. Oh, there he is. Hey, Daniel.
Hi. Thanks very much, Michael. I'd like to thank my university friends for motivating me to study really hard for this award. I'd like to thank everyone for nominating me and supporting my nomination. I'd also like to thank my family for being very supportive and always there for me, always telling me to keep trying, feeding me, housing me. Yeah, and everyone who I've worked with over the past year for getting to this spot. I've really enjoyed engineering, all the things I've learned. I think I can really apply them to something really special. So thanks very much.
Well done,
everyone.
Daniel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, the next award. So moving on now to level 2. Robert Keller Award, Water Technology in level 2. Michael Natalizio. And Michael, I believe, is with us. Hey, Michael.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the award, and thanks to Water Technology for sponsoring this award. Also, I'd like to do a quick shout out and thanks to Eduardo Dali, who did a great job in teaching me everything about fluid mechanics and hydraulic structures when I did the unit. Thanks.
Well done. Well done, Michael. Good work. Okay, so the Environmental Energy Efficiency Award won by Lachlan Zygada. Lachlan, I think, is with us, yes?
Yep.
Hi, Lachlan.
Okay. I'd just like to thank, I was pretty surprised I got this award in the first place, but thanks to Endeavour for honouring me with that award. Just like to thank Tori and Rob, who taught this unit really well and just made it very fun unit to study for and engage with.
Well done, Lachlan. Congratulations. Okay, the Coffee Geotechnics Prize for Geoengineering at level 2, Andy Mack.
Hi, I just wanted to say I'm really surprised to also receive this award just like Lachlan was. But I'm very happy and honored to have received this award. I would just like to say thanks to my parents for always advocating for my education and allowing me to come to Australia at a very young age to pursue a better education. And thank you to Coffee for sponsoring this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Well done. Congratulations. The MMG Merit Award won by Paul Murdoch.
Yes, another surprised awardee. I'd just like to thank Monash most of all, MMG, who support the mining program and for their generosity, and my wife. Thank you.
Well done, Paul. Congratulations. Okay, moving up to level 3 prizes. And the SRIA prize for concrete structures won by Nima Bayshad, who can't be with us, so at least we know what he looks like. He's given us a photo. Congratulations to him. The Australian Steel Institute prize won by Matthew Chow.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Matthew.
I'd like to thank the Australian Steel Institute and Monash University for this award. I'd also like to take this time to thank the lecturers and my family for their ongoing support. Thanks, Michael.
Well done. Thank you, Matthew. Congratulations. Okay, the Douglas Partners Prize for Geomechanics was again won by Nima Bayshad, who is absent this afternoon. We extend our congratulations to him. The Tom McMahon Water Technology Award won by Benjamin Cressel. Hey, Benjamin.
Hi, Michael. I'd firstly like to thank the award sponsor, WaterTech, for supporting the award. And I'd also like to thank the unit coordinator, Professor Chris Rudiger, for developing a really interesting unit. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my parents, my mum and dad, for supporting me and really providing continuous encouragement. Yeah, thank you.
Well done, Ben. Congratulations. The Civil Contractors Federation Ian Jack Award, 3 winners, Monica Abdul-Malik, Lauren McCutcheon and Thomas Russ.
Thank you,
guys.
Michael. Very, very honoured to receive this. I'd like to thank the CCF for sponsoring this award, and also to Derek, Hamilton, Fulton Hogan and their long list of guest speakers for giving up their time to make the unit so practical and enjoyable.
Yeah, just like to second what Tom said there.
Thanks, Lauren. Monica.
I'd also like to thank the Department of Engineering and also to Derek Hamilton for teaching this unit really well. So yeah, thank you for this recognition.
Thanks, guys. Very well done. Congratulations to all 3 of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, the GE Hydro Prize, Shinian Kwan.
Hi, thank you, Michael. Thank you to GE for sponsoring this award. And I'd like to thank Roger, the lecturer of this unit, not only this unit, but many of the new units for resources engineering, and who has single-handedly, almost single-handedly supported the soon-to-be graduates of this degree. And thank you to Monash for having this very unique degree. Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. Okay, GE MMG Merit Award, Harrison Rees. We're not sure if Harrison is with us. Appears not. Thank you. We'll move on. Okay, moving on to the level 4 prizes. GHD Highway Design Prize, Maneen Alam, Victoria Ear, Ashray George and Charlotte Zhu.
Hi, Mike.
Ashray.
Maneen, Victoria, Charlotte and I are honoured to be presented with this award. Firstly, we would like to thank GHD for being able to sponsor the award. We would also like to extend our gratitude to our lecturer and tutors, in particular, Dr. Steve O'Hearn and Hamayun. Also, this unit has inspired a few of us to pursue road engineering as a career, which is pretty exciting. And so, but finally, we would also like to thank each of our support networks for their encouragement along the way. So thanks again.
Okay, one has spoken for all. Thank you very much. GHD Prize in Water Engineering, Shu Tan. Did we lose him?
Hi.
Hi, Shu.
Hi. Hi. Thanks, Michael. I'm very humbled and honored to receive this award, and I would like to thank GHD and the department staff for making this happen. And special shout out to Dr. Anna Linton and Associate Professor David McCarthy for being such a great lecturer, and the tutors and the group mates I've worked with. Thank you.
Well done, Shu. Congratulations. GHD Civil Engineering Award for the top graduating student in 2019, Laura McCutcheon. Hey, Laura.
Hi, I again, obviously I'm very surprised by the award and would just like to thank GHD for sponsoring the award and the Department of Engineering for their support since commencing my degree in 2013 and helping me pursue my interest in construction and working for a construction company whilst I was at uni and completing my legal degree at the same time and giving that flexibility to pursue those interests.
Well done. Congratulations. Foundation Industry Prize for Soil Engineering, Jin Chen Chai.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I can't turn on the video, so I would just like
That's fine. We can hear you, Jin. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the department as a whole, and a special shout out to Dr. Assad, who has been guiding through me throughout the term, and also my friends and family who has been giving me endless support. Yep.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Traffics Group Prize, Aaron Fernando.
Thanks, Michael, and big thank you to Traffics for sponsoring this award, which I'm delighted to receive. And also thank you to all the Monash engineering staff for being so supportive over my journey and helping me in developing my passion for transport and traffic engineering. And finally, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the tremendous support I've received from my parents over the past few years. So thank you, Mum and Dad.
Well done, mate. Next prize. So the Geofabrics Group Project Prize, and we have Kai Chen Hua, Kuran Hang, Xie Chun Kwek, and Seong Chin is absent. So hopefully the other three are with us, we think. No. Okay, we congratulate all of those winners. Okay, the Geofabrics Group Project Prize, Zhengda Li, Ziyu Li, Nathaniel Lowe, and Quinn Kun Liu.
Hey, thanks, Michael. As mentioned by Elizabeth, no one is an island. Our team appreciate help and the opportunity from our engineering department, Professor Maliki Boozer and Professor Jeffrey Walker. Also, shout out to my boys from the team, Ray, Zhe, and Qing. Appreciate all the hard works and efforts for the project. Good luck to all the engineering students for the future study and career. Back to you, Michael.
Say you.
I think Mr. Liu said everything I want to say. Okay, thank you.
Well done, mate. Good work. Congratulations, guys. Well done. Association of Consulting Structural Engineers Victoria Prize, Feng Xiao and Zhang Shen. And they are with us. Hi.
Hi, Michael. I'd like to thank for this award. It's our great honor to receive it. And also I'd like to thank Professor Ami Heidapo for his excellent teaching in this unit. We've all learned a lot from him. Thank you.
Thank you thanks for the Association of Consulting Structural Engineer Victoria, and thanks to Professor Heidapo, and thanks to my family. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks very much. Congratulations. Okay, the SMEC Structural Prize, Xuning Zhang. Not sure. No, we'll extend our congratulations and move on. The SMEC Geomechanics Prize, Zhengda Li. We had him and we lost him. It looks like the tech link has let us down. Okay, the ACOM Prize, Civil and Environmental Engineering Practice, Ryan Elton, John Requiso, Shuzhen Tan, Amy Wefa Perez, and SM Mudin Shah, who is absent. Hi, guys.
Hi. Thank you so much to ACOM for this award. My team and I would like to thank OCLA for letting us be a part of this project. Our support networks, our mentors and lecturers along the way. This was an awesome project to be a part on and a really great team to work with. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, they're all good. Congratulations to all of them. The MMG Merit Award, Ling Zhi Yuan and Jack Smith. We're not sure if we have them online. No. Okay, again, congratulations to both and we'll move on. MMG Engineering Leadership Scholarship goes to Paul Murdoch.
Yeah, I'll just thank MMG again. I've had the good fortune to be enrolled in specialisation, which is incentivised by them. So they've been very generous. And I'll thank Monash again for being such a great uni. Thanks.
Well done. Thanks, Paul. Thank you very much. Resource Engineering Scholarship, Chandrawalan Ying Lee, Carbonell Ravella Alba, and Warren Smith, Samuel Amos, who we were aware wasn't able to be here.
Hey, I'd just like to thank the sponsors of the scholarship, as well as Monash University, the teaching staff, and friends and family for their efforts and their continued support throughout my studies. So,
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Transport Engineering Prize, Joshua Zhang, Baibavi Maragi, and Daniel Richards, who is not with us. Hi, guys.
Thank you, Michael. I think Joshua will agree with me when I say we're very grateful for Knowles Tivendale, James Reynolds, and all the TAs for having put together an awesome unit for us. And along with this prize, we were both actually given the opportunity to work at Movement and Place Consulting, and that was a very valuable experience to say the least. Once again, many thanks to the teachers, to our peers and our families for supporting us through our education. Truly an honour to receive this award.
And I suspect with those people, you would have had a very, very interesting and engaging time.
Definitely, yeah.
They are characters. Congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Cheers. Good work. Okay, so we now move to the Postgraduate Awards. We're straight into the first. So the Walker Family Award is, as you might suspect, sponsored by Jeff Walker and his family. That came about because Jeff felt that this was an important area that needed to be acknowledged and rewarded. So he took it upon himself to sponsor this award, which is great. The winner is Michael Magg. After completing his undergraduate studies in 2015, Michael began working at Stormy Water Solutions, a small engineering consultancy specialising in water-sensitive urban design and floodplain management. Now, before Michael joined, Stormy Water Solutions had 2 employees, Michael's parents. Michael subsequently then enrolled in the Master of Advanced Civil Engineering Water. Michael is applying what he has learned as he continues his career with Stormy Water Solutions. And we note that the soon-to-be completed Waverley Park wetland and retarding basins under the power lines, for those who know the area, is actually quite close to Monash. And to quote Michael, he says, if you're ever close by, turn your heads away from all the landscape features and have a look down in the pits like a proper civil engineer. It's a pretty complicated system. Congratulations, Michael. Well done.
Thanks, Michael. I'd just like to thank Jeff and all the other Monash staff that I came across doing this, and in the undergrad as well. It's been a good experience with Monash. And look, I was pretty humbled and surprised when they gave me the call to say I got the award. And I'd just like to thank my fiance. It was a lot of sacrifice for both of us to let me do this. And also like to thank my parents for supporting me all the way through and giving me a job now. Yeah. Thank you.
Very well done, Michael. I'm going to go and have a look. I used to umpire footy at Waverley, and I can understand why you'd need to catch all the water that rains out there. That's another story. The next award is the Traffic and Transport Award, which happens to be sponsored by Veach Lister Consulting. The winner is Andrew O'Brien. And in Andrew's notes, he said he found himself less and less interested in rocks and more interested in transportation and the built environment. Of course, we acknowledge that this evening we have people who are very interested in rocks and do some very good work, of course. So Andrew moved into transport modelling. He joined, as it happened, Veach Lister Consulting, undertook his Master of Transport part-time by distance, and applies his skills in planning and advisory roles focused on active and public transport, addressing the challenges of managing conflicts between pedestrians and cyclists. And I'm aware from my own background of the many very serious injuries that result. And for those that might be curious, yes, Michael works for Veach Lister Consulting. He's been working there for many years, and it came as a surprise to both them and to him to realise that they were sponsoring an award that he actually won. So Andrew, our congratulations, well done.
Thank you, Michael. I'd like to thank my wife and my parents for supporting me through the award. I'd also like to thank my employer, Veach Lister Consulting, for giving me the time to do this, to do the course. I guess it's quite serendipitous that they also happen to be the sponsor. And finally, I'd like to thank the faculty, in particular, Dr. Jeff Rose, for the support and mentoring he gave me through the course. And I guess I'm a little bit sad to hear that it might be discontinued. So thank you very much.
Well done, Michael. So the next award is the Master of Infrastructure Engineering and Management Highest Average Completing Student Award, which, as you can see, has been won by Richard Mannix. Richard is Manager of Emergency Planning at Southern Rural Water, responsible for dam safety emergency planning, flood management planning for Southern Rural Water's large dams, and managing Southern Rural Water's operational flood forecasting system. It's pleasing to note that since graduating from the MIEM, Richard has recently provided a guest lecture for postgraduate civil engineering students on the topic of operational flood hydrology. So it's great that those links from student to master are continuing to happen. Congratulations, Richard.
Thank you, Michael. I just want to say thank you to Monash University and the Department of Civil Engineering. It was an excellent course to have gone through, and it was immediately relevant in industry. A big thank you to my wife for supporting me through the course. There was many sleepless nights and stressful days, so thank you to her and to work for allowing me the time to complete the course. So thank you very much.
Congratulations. The next award is the Molly Holman Award. This award is among the highest academic honours that Monash University bestows and marks the recipient as a researcher of the highest order. Dr. Radhika Desleva received this award for his thesis, Rock Fracture Stimulation using a slow energy releasing fracturing compound for permeability enhanced in situ leaching. Radhika's thesis was ranked by both examiners 5 out of 5, indicating exceptional quality, significance, and new contribution to the knowledge in the relevant field. He also published 12 journal papers during his PhD and has been invited to write a perspective paper in the Nature Sustainability Journal on alternative technology for conventional mining. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much, Michael, and good evening, everyone. And I'm extremely delighted and honored to receive this recognition and the medal, of course. And this achievement was definitely a team effort. So I'd like to take a moment to thank my supervisors, Professor Ranjit, Dr. Samintha, Dr. Bishan, and obviously the department for pushing me through, and my family and friends for their tremendous support. So thank you again.
Well done, congratulations. The next award is the Eric Lawrenson Award. It is sponsored by the CRC for Water Sensitive Cities through its CEO, Tony Wong, who was referred to earlier, and focuses on real life impact and engagement with end users. It's awarded annually to a recent PhD graduate who has written an excellent thesis, communicated their research findings to industry, and has research utilisation potential in water science, engineering, or management. Valentina Marcioni's PhD combined fieldwork and hydrological modelling, providing a unique and comprehensive analysis of water balance in 4 natural urban reserves across Melbourne. It identified the key role played by shallow water storage in sustaining native trees within urban reserves, showing the vulnerability of these ecosystems to climate change and long droughts. With her work, Valentina has produced a thesis with results of academic value with direct practical application for the management of urban reserves hosting valuable native trees. Valentina, congratulations.
Thanks a lot. It's really a pleasure to receive this award. And first of all, I would like to thank my supervisors, because without them, this couldn't have been possible. So Professor Daly and Professor Jeff Walker and Professor Nigel Tapper. And I would also like to thank my family for their support throughout the process, and also to highlight how important are green spaces in our cities. And I think this recent pandemic had shown us that having a green space close to our place, it's really important to have a green area to enjoy. So thanks again for the award.
Well done and congratulations, Valentina. The SSI Victorian Spatial Excellence Award goes to Antara Dasgupta. The award is in recognition of academic research excellence by a postgraduate student, contributing to the ongoing progression of the spatial sciences profession. Antara published a paper in a top-level remote sensing journal on flood mapping from synthetic aperture radar. Her thesis was on optimising SAR-based flood extent assimilation for improved hydraulic flood inundation forecast. Congratulations. Hi. Mute.
Oops, sorry. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yep, all good.
All right, fantastic. I'm extremely honored to receive this award, and I'd like to first acknowledge the sponsors and the department for recognizing the hard work that went into my PhD. I'm really grateful to the IITB Monash Research Academy, which gave me an opportunity to be a part of two of the finest institutions in the world. This award truly means a lot to me and is a testament to the unwavering support of my parents and my supervisors. My supervisors, especially Jeff, had more faith in me than I could ever have in myself, and is one of the main reasons that I stand here today as the recipient of this prestigious award. This one is for you, Jeff. Thanks.
Well done and congratulations. Very well spoken. The 2020 Award for Excellence in Research, we held this back a little to make sure that the winner was going to be here because he had other commitments. The winner of this award has undertaken projects in mining geomechanics, ground control and support systems design, mine safety and monitoring, and mine site greenhouse gas mitigation. He's published over 30 journals and refereed conference papers relating to rock mechanics. He's supervising 8 HDR students, most of whom have secured Monash scholarships, and he's jointly supervising 3 further HDR students. He has demonstrated excellence in leadership in research in all of these activities. Congratulations to Hossein Masumi.
Thanks, Michael. Basically, apologize for being late, and you know the reason for that. It's good to be either first or last, and I think I'm the lucky last person for tonight. Special thanks to all the colleagues in the department, of course, as a team civil, or I should say family of civil engineering. It's been really honor for me to work with every individuals over the last 3 years that I have joined the department. Special thanks to Jeff for his leadership, a lot of helps, advices, of course. And a special thank you to Jayanta, my academic supervisor, who has helped me with my academic progress. Thanks to Ben Hui for his advices on my research direction. And last but not least, a special thanks to Malik, my research mentor over the course of my, activities within the department. Thank you so much.
Okay, now that applause was, of course, for Hossein and everybody else who came before him. So we congratulate all of our postgrad awards. Again, before we go any further, we'd like to again acknowledge all of our sponsors, without whom all these prizes would not be possible. Okay, so as you can see, we now are at virtual door prize time. And we hope you enjoy that very clever graphic, which has doors and virtual showing on it. So we have registered all of the people who nominated to be here. And now I think Jeff, with help from Laura, is going to draw the prizes.
Thanks, Michael. So I've got a big bowl of all the people who registered for this program. So I'll pick a couple out and start with one here. And Dr. Mohammed Faisal.
Don't move on yet, because there are a number of third prizes.
Second one that I've got here is Miss Balani Balachandran. I'm sure I didn't pronounce that very well, but hopefully she knows who I'm referring to. And the third one I'll pick out here is Mrs. Amy Lamb from our Resources and Civil Industry Advisory Committee. And there's 5 of these, so that's 3. The next one is Mr. Paul Hardy, was one of our previous recipients of the Alumni of the Year a few years ago. and an avid supporter for the department. And the final one I've got here is Dr. Javad Gurbani. He's a research fellow with the Spark Hub. Moving on to the second place. And so we've got two of these. And the first one goes to Fatima Azhar. And the second one to Zelinda Fun. And I should say that the second place gets both of those items that are on the screen there, both participants. So moving on to the first place winner, which there's one of, and the lucky recipient here will get all of these items that are shown on the screen. And this goes to Mr. Zhao Tang. Congratulations, Zhao. So I think that's all the lucky virtual door prizes, Michael.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Is the helpers after this? Yeah, okay. Yeah, go back to Jill and Monash. Sorry. So we're almost at the end of the evening, and we've had a lot of discussion through the evening, the highlighting of our world ranking and of the excellence of our work in teaching. And just to finish off, I want to take just a couple of minutes to look back a little bit and talk about Monash. And in this case, the man that the university is named after, Sir John Monash, who not all of you would necessarily have heard about. So just very, very briefly, I'll give you a little bit of a background, because the relevance of this to tonight's Excellence Awards, I think, will become apparent. When he was alive, about 100 years ago, Sir John Monash was the greatest living Australian. 100 years later, he is ranked in the top 10 of great Australians of all time. John Monash was a celebrated military commander, scholar, business leader, and was revered for his contributions to the community and his services to the nation. As an engineer, he pioneered the use of reinforced concrete and oversaw the construction of many notable bridges, railways, and public buildings, including, very importantly, Melbourne's Shrine of Remembrance, which he advocated to government to have built. He was the president of the Victorian Institute of Engineers from 1912 to 1915, and was the first Australian to be awarded a Doctor of Engineering in 1921. In the 1920s, after World War I, Monash was founding CEO and chair of the State Electricity Commission of Victoria, the founding CEO and chair, responsible for establishing Victoria's infrastructure to transmit power statewide. These are enormous contributions. Many historians consider Monash the foremost military commander in the First World War. He was a brilliant military leader and strategic thinker and planner, and his innovation in strategy shortened World War I and is still taught today in military college. A champion of learning, Monash was Vice-Chancellor of Melbourne University from 1923 to 1931, when he passed away. He advocated for the establishment of the CSIRO. In 1958, Monash University was established and named in honour of John Monash, taking inspiration from his counsel to his advice to students, saying the following: equip yourselves for life, not solely for your benefit, but for the benefit of the whole community. This evening's presentations of awards celebrated the sort of excellence that John Monash would have encouraged students to undertake. Notably, John Monash was a civil engineer. Congratulations to all award winners, and thanks to everyone for their contribution to tonight's ceremony. In closing, I think we have one more slide. So this slide, you may not recognise any of the people on this slide. These are, in fact, the people who work together to make this evening possible. So we have Laura, who is Jeff's EA, a little bloke that looks a little bit like me, Rachel James, my colleague over there, who is in charge of all the IT, looking very much younger, and finally Anne Hathaway, who you heard from earlier. And when I asked them all to provide a photo of themselves when they were young, I joked with Joanne that if she wore a kilt, everybody would know which one was her. And lo and behold, she has a young version of a kilt. I want to quite seriously, on behalf of all of you, thank Hayden, who's in the room with me, socially distanced, for all the great work he's done, and my colleagues in civil for putting on tonight's event. Thank you all very much for your contribution. We greatly appreciate it. Have a great evening.